Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with a quick news update regarding your Edmonton Oilers. Bob Stauffer, the Bob father himself, has come out and he has hinted at contracts for a couple of your Oilers. So we're going to take a look at what those contracts will look like and for which players he is hinting towards. I think you're going to like it. Of course, rookie camp officially opened today, so all of the rookies were on the ice, including Ike Howard, who, if you were unaware, actually was a little bit late to arriving camp this time, or I guess arriving to the captain's skates, because he was the Oilers representative at the NHLPA orientation camp that they just held. So Ike Howard, he was on the ice, and Howard and Savoy both very confident in front of the media, their first big media scrums with the Oilers media members, and I liked what they had to say about what they want to accomplish, what their goals are, what their plan is, and their plan is to make this team. So we are going to talk a little bit about that. It's going to be a short and sweet video, so if you end up liking this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I am continuing to provide daily Oilers content here on the Austin Hockey YouTube channel. Now, let's get into rookie camp. Like I mentioned, the rookie camp did open up officially today. You have Colin Chalk on the ice with other assistants. You have all of the rookies. I did do a video yesterday. I even had a list of who was attending rookie camp. The Oilers' first rookie game is against the Calgary Flames this Friday, September 12th. And by this Friday, I mean that's tomorrow. We get our first look at them tomorrow, and that's very exciting. We actually get to see some hockey. It will be available on the Calgary Flames website for free. Now, if you're an Oilers fan, if you want to watch it on the Oilers website, it is available with Oilers Plus for $8.99 a month. Listen, I'm just saying, if you can watch it for free, please watch it for free. In any case, I will be doing a live stream during the rookie game. We are going to be checking out these rookies. I am going to be doing a pregame report and a postgame reaction, just so that I can get into the swing of things once the season starts with actual NHL hockey. But I am very excited to get a look at Savoy and Ike Howard. Now, Ike Howard and Matthew Savoy both talked about making that step to the NHL. Matthew Savoy reflected on his time with the Oilers last season, saying that those 4 games that he played allowed him to build that confidence, allowed him to understand what he needed to work on. And what he worked on this offseason was building strength, being a little bit faster, and making sure that he can handle the physical side of the NHL. It is a big step to take for the kid, but Savoy and Howard, unless something crazy happens, they should both make this team out of camp, and I am expecting both of these kids to make the team out of camp. If you want to check out the practice footage and interviews, you can just go to the Oilers YouTube channel. Of course, they've also posted a whole bunch of stuff on X or Twitter.com, sportsnet.ca, that sort of thing. I can't play the videos here because I'll get copyright dinged, but I did want to just have this as like our reference point while we chat. I also left a comment saying Savoy Howard soon in the NHL, because they are arriving in the NHL very soon. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about comes from the Bob father himself. Look at this handsome gentleman. My God, I believe anything this guy says. If this guy told me something was going to happen, I would believe him every single time. We are so lucky to have this handsome gentleman here in Oil Country. He did mention on his show earlier today that he expects Jake Walman to potentially get a 6-year contract in the $6.5 million range. And he also expects Vasily Podkolzin to potentially get a 3-year contract. Now, the Cult of Hockey podcast for the Edmonton Journal, they did look at the picture they used. Look at Jake Walman, dude. Look at him laughing. Oh my God. I wish we would have had the last laugh. See, Florida fans, this is where you can come in. Florida fans, you get the last laugh. You won the cup. The Oilers won game 1 in overtime after that penalty. Look at this. I can't get enough of this picture. I love that the Edmonton Journal used this picture. But the Cult of Hockey, they did talk about what Bob Stauffer said on his show. From Edmonton Oilers insider Bob Stauffer, his suggestion on Oilers Now that Edmonton's top 4 D-man Jake Walman is in line for a new 6-year deal, while winger Vasily Podkolzin will sign for 3 years. Stauffer said he had no opinion on the new Oilers' 3rd jerseys, which, if you did miss yesterday's video, I did talk about the Oilers' 3rd jerseys. Official, the official unveiling, I believe, is going to be at the Fan Day at Rogers Place on Saturday, September 20th. So if you're going to that, please get some high-def pictures, because I'm very curious to see what they are going to look like in proper lighting, right? I think the pictures we got yesterday, the leaks that we saw, the lighting wasn't very good. I want to see them on the ice in uniform, players wearing them. In any case, that's a totally different topic. Bob Stauffer said, I'd have a better handle of who the Oilers might be going out and acquiring, who they might get extended. I could see Jake Walman getting a 6-year extension at some point in the 6s, and I could see that happen. Maybe Podkolzin gets a 3-year contract. Now, in early August, Stauffer had reported that Walman might get 8 years, saying that there is something that the Oilers can do that nobody else can do, and it maybe might relate more to a guy like Jake Walman, but they could offer an 8-year contract extension when we have shorter terms coming in the next CBA, which takes place next summer. Now, at that time, Oilers GM Stan Bowman confirmed that there had been conversations with the agents for both Walman and Matthias Ekholm, and he hoped to get deals done. Of course, that was around the time that Evan Bouchard had signed earlier in the summer. Bowman said, when you identify players like that you think there's a future for, and they think you can help your team not only in the coming year, but in the years beyond that, then I think it makes sense to try and get something done. Now, I couldn't agree more. And with Jake Walman, I think because of Walman's ability to, play that left side, and with the age of Ekholm getting up a little bit higher now, I think Walman is a good contingency to have for when Ekholm either retires or if Ekholm has to take a step back in his role and playing Walman up and giving him a little bit more minutes. Now, they do have Walman listed as right defense. I would really, really prefer that he plays the strong side, which would be on the left. I think if anyone's going to play on the right, maybe a stick Kulak over there. But the Oilers do have a bit of a logjam of left defensemen. If you include Walman, you have Nurse, Ekholm, Kulak. So something has to give there. Not sure if there's going to be any kind of moves before the season starts. I imagine there won't be. The right side looking a little bit thinner. You've got Bouchard, you've got Stetcher, Emberson, Regula. But again, these are not world beaters. The only top D-man that Edmonton has on that right side is Evan Bouchard. So if there is any kind of upgrade to be had on the defense, I would imagine they're going to try and get a right D-man, and I would imagine they may try and move one of their left defensemen out. Get Jake Walman extended. Get Jake Walman extended. I think that is a very, very good plan for the Edmonton Oilers. I think he has what the team needs, especially on that left side, especially if a guy like Matthias Ekholm gets injured again, or because of Ekholm's age, his play starts to drop off. Walman is in the prime of his career, so Walman should be able to take on that extra role if needed. We saw a lot of that during the playoffs when Ekholm was out with injury. Then the defense kind of got all discombobulated in the Stanley Cup final when Ekholm came back. So hopefully if there are injuries, the team just lets these guys heal, let guys play where they're comfortable and more natural, and then go from there. Of course, none of these extensions are going to happen before McDavid gets extended. I think that's kind of the holding pattern here. I think Walman, Podkolzin, anyone else that is due for a new contract, Ekholm even maybe too, I think everyone is waiting on the holding pattern of what is Connor McDavid going to get and for how long, and then I think that's going to determine what other players sign for long-term in Edmonton or potentially short-term. I think Vasily Podkolzin at 3 years would be fantastic. He probably slots in at about $2.5 million per season, unless this year he puts up about 20 goals. Then he'll be looking at about $3.5-4 million a year. Hopefully Podkolzin takes a little bit of a discount. Hopefully every player takes a discount, because as a fan, I want this team to have long-term sustainable success. But until Connor McDavid signs his deal, we won't fully know exactly what these contracts are going to look like. But I do think Walman in the sixes, whether it's 6 years in the $6 million range, I think that is an absolute steal. If Stan Bowman can get that done this season, oh boy, we are rocking and rolling here in oil country. Love to see that. That is it for me for today's news. If you enjoyed the video, like I said, just make sure to hit that like button. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. What are your thoughts on the Bob Fathers comments today regarding Walman and Podkolzin? What are your thoughts on the rookie camp? Are you going to be tuning into the rookie game tomorrow at Rogers Place against the Calgary Flames? You're going to tune in onto the Austin Hockey YouTube channel, where I'll be doing a live stream. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. I was going to say keep the conversation going in the comments section below. As always, tell someone that you love them, and fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. I'd also like to thank today's channel members with Christy, Nick, Justin, Canadian Ginger, Charles, Epiphany, Maddie Brinks, I'm Just Him, Hannah, Lola, Fleecy U, Danny, Hybrid Hunter, Hab 3436, Crux Deluxe, Wayne, Jacob, Hypnotized Mind, and Bubsy. Thank you all so much for being continued members of the channel, whether you're locker room, whether you're VIP, or whether you're just a regular subscriber that likes to tune in. Your support means the absolute world. We'll see you soon, Oil Country.